I had to take a stance. That's how important her. You're more of a
lot of hand jobs.
It was a lot of hand jobs. Everyone just really wanted to fuck Adrian Brody, I think was the story of the movie.
It just was like, I was just like, there's also one particular shot that really upset me.
Let's hear it.
Okay. Are we going? It's fine. This is the test.
Go. Yeah, we're going.
So there's a shot in The Brutalist where he's like meeting his cousin and his cousin's wife before he gets booted out for no apparent reason other than like, I don't really understand.
His cousin was strange.
Yeah. Like an hour of the movie. His cousin is strange. Too long. And so there's a shot there though, where it's like supposed to feel, I think, like artsy or something, where they like put the camera across the room and then they're having a conversation with the two actors over here. And then like one of the third actor's just basically standing in front of the camera for like 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And then moves away. And it's like, yeah, but it annoyed me so much because it was like trying to do something, but was like ineffective. And it really annoyed me at watching it because I'm like, I can barely hear what they're saying. Now I can't hear their lips or see their lips. Mm-hmm. And there's no reason for this person to be standing here or crossing or anything. It just seemed like, ugh. That was a really annoying shot to me.
Okay.
They're going to hate, whoever made The Brutalist is going to see this podcast 2 episodes in a row.
It was just so long and I didn't understand why it exists.
It was, I liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a nice way to get away from my life for 3.5 hours. There was an intermission.
Could have watched Toy Story 2 twice.
I mean, sure.
You want escapism. Let's see Jessie face her fear of going back in the box.
Wow, listen, as someone who only saw 1 and 3,
what are you talking about?
I didn't see the second one.
Why?
Because I don't like sequels.
Jump to 3.
I did jump to 3 and I had a great time.
2 is like the best one of all time.
2, what? No one thinks that.
Everybody thinks that. Everybody thinks that. Go to Rotten Tomatoes, which I don't always agree with.
You're doing it right now? Yep. Research. Folks, this is the
Oh, man. Toy Story 2 has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Thank you so much.
Toy Story 2 does?
Yeah.
See the movie, Ronnie. It's great.
Okay. All right. I'll see Toy Story 2.
It's much better than The Brutalist.
There's no way that's
93% for Brutalist on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's nonsense. And the popcorn one is 0, isn't it?
It's probably a 65.
The popcorn one.
I'm going to say 73.
Zippo. What a snooze. What a snooze.
Well, yeah, I mean,
there's no reason for it to exist. I'm not saying that it's not a good actor, but it's just like, what are we doing here?
Well,
there's so many good stories to deal with Holocaust survivors and them overcoming things and having these major like traumas that they have to settle and finding a new place and all that stuff. And the way he took a fictionalized story about this character who's pretty unlikable, cheating on his wife and this and that and being a dick to people.
He did cheat on his wife, yeah.
And getting hand jobs at random. And then he was mean to his wife when she came back because she was disabled for a minute. Also, the black guy and his son, he was just mean to them and then they're gone. No resolution there. You wrote this story. It's not even based in reality. Be nice to the black guys at the end.
Well, okay. I mean, look, I think that it's
complete fiction, and we're still just like, no, I'm mean to you, and then I'm a genius. But you're gonna go back to the bread line.
Geniuses are not always nice,
There Will Be Blood covered it.
Yeah.
Much better.
I can't argue with
they were nicer to the black guys in that movie.
Were there black guys in that movie?
If there were, they were nicer.
If they were covered in oil.
I don't know. Everybody's equal in that movie. Everyone's covered in oil.
Folks, welcome to the Skullet Podcast. We are joined over here not only by critic of The Brutalist, but also hilarious writer, comedian, director Ryan Beck.
That's right. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hi, Ronnie.
How you doing, man? Welcome to the show.
I'm great. Thank you for having me. And this is not intentionally an advertisement, but I am drinking a Hampton Inn coffee.
Oh, do you do
Hampton by Hilton? Let me be clear.
It sure sounds like you're endorsing it.
Well, I got to turn the logo, right? We don't want to get sued.
Oh, yeah.
We don't know their stance on The Brutalist. So, or Toy Story 2 for that matter, which is the best film.
Did you see the other Oscar movies this year?
Yeah, I saw pretty much everything.
Amelia Perez?
Yeah, I
liked
really
it. Anyone who saw that movie.
I liked it.
You liked it?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I thought it was really good. I mean, Zoe Saldana, I got an argument, which I guess is not. I'm realizing maybe this is like a trend or something.
You
But
argumentative?
I defended her big time.
Oh,
She was fantastic. She's
Yeah.
singing, she's dancing, she's acting in multiple languages. And like the only criticism that I get is like she won a supporting Oscar.
Okay.
And I would say that she's the lead of the movie.
Right.
It opens on her, it closes on her. It's kind of her connection to the people, even though the lead character that they say is the one that like the titular character.
Sure.
Amelia Perez. But it's like they're not in the movie as much as Zoe Saldana. So I get that. Maybe she should have been in the lead category. And I still think she would have won for that in the lead, even though all the leading ladies this year, like those movies were fantastic.
who were the leading? Who won the best?
Demi Moore.
Oh, she was good. Yeah.
Honora.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a bunch of them. Who else was there? It doesn't matter right now. But the point was, it was like, there's great movies. What'd you like?
I liked A Complete Unknown. I saw Nora. I liked that a lot. I like The Substance.
I'm in A Complete Unknown very briefly.
Wait, what?
The back of my head.
Really? You went to New England?
I would know they
Rhode
shot
Island?
something in like a Long Island park or whatever, and I
Oh,
was
really?
like, I was just like background in there,
Yeah.
back of my head somewhere in there.
Well, I know Doug Key was in it.
Yeah, he
He
might
was-
be in it though.
His face is in it a few
Yeah,
times.
my face is not in it. The back of my head's somewhere in there.
Oh,
I fell asleep
cool.
against a tree during that set. And someone thought that I was Bradley Cooper, and they came up to me and they're like, "Oh my god, I thought you were." I was like, "Whoa, Bradley Cooper's in this movie too?" And I was like, "That is the nicest compliment for a man sleeping against a tree trying to get free lunch."
Whoa. Wait, hold on. Just based on the back of your head, or just the way you sleep? Or you're like Bradley Cooper?
I was asleep against a tree.
Hold on. We got a tree right here.
Yeah.
Can you lean your head in, and can we we'll actually superimpose this later. It sucks because I'm editing the
My
podcast.
son thinks I look like Bradley Cooper in Maestro, which isn't, he's like, so if you add prosthetic,
pull that up, Tim.
I'm telling you, dude, I look like him with prosthetics on.
Oh
like I have
my
like the vibe,
God.
I've got the vibe, and I appreciate it. I mean, we're talking,
That's
it's a handsome
yeah.
guy. He's a great filmmaker, See, that's how I'm going to look when I'm old.
All right.
Then we got this one right here with his hand up to the left. That guy.
Okay.
You see
that
it?
actually looks pretty good. Yeah, it looks pretty similar.
Look at go
You
to
have
the
the
one where he
eyebrows.
turns his head to the left here.
We're not really thinking about the eyebrow here. It's really the schnoz.
the
yeah.
schnoz.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like
Schnoz and ears and but anyway, that's my son saw it when he was 1 or 2 or whatever. He saw a
Wait,
picture.
What? He saw Maestro when he was one.
No, he saw a picture of Bradley
okay.
Cooper in this thing in like an ad or whatever, and he said, "Daddy," and it was crazy.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Huh.
kids are fun.
Kids are perceptive. Yeah.
Anyway, I fell asleep against a tree when I was doing this background work in this movie, and somebody thought I was the leading man.
Amazing.
Another leading man.
Yeah.
But I was just, hanging, man.
There's a few different avenues I can go down right now. But let's I'll put a pin in my head. And what is your favorite? Well, we did a little research, and speaking of like movie theater snacks, I believe
my
this might
God.
be your favorite snack, right?
Yeah, dude, these are the
candy?
best. Have you had these?
I don't think I have. No.
Wow, this is awesome. We gotta crack these things open. I mean, not
open.
while we're on there. This is the best candy. This is 100% the best candy.
Now you do endorse this candy.
I endorse this candy fully. This is Nerd Gummy Clusters, okay? Nerds Gummy Clusters. And this is, listen, so it's the best candy.
Yeah.
It's top candy all time, and I'll tell you why. It's crunchy, it's sweet, you get the gummy, and there's no reason it should be as good as it is, and it's just that good.
Oh.
I was talking to my sister about that, and I mentioned, I was like, oh yeah, I bought some Nerd Gummy Clusters because Ryan likes them a lot. And then she goes, that's the best candy ever made. I was like, I had no idea she thought this.
Oh
So I
my
guess these
gosh.
things are
There's a
pretty
New
good.
York Times article about people being so adamant that it's the best candy ever made.
Is this a new thing?
No, but it's had a resurgence. Okay, this thing has been around for like decades. But for some reason, they've really caught on. Have you ever had them? Okay, I think what we should do is have you have them over here.
Yeah.
Because you're not on the mic like this. Crack those open and tell me you're not going to be able to eat just one. You're going to go in again and you're going to say, why is this so good?
I'm looking deep into his eyes right now.
I'm telling you, these things are great. They have all the flavor, like things they've been manufactured for us to love, and it's like the perfect size. The rope is too much, like the Nerd's rope.
It's a lot.
It falls off. It's like, but this is the perfect bite of candy.
He seems.
I love chocolate. I'm a big chocolate guy. I'm like, if you get like dessert at a restaurant or whatever, like just play it safe. Get something with the chocolate in. That's like the best thing.
Yeah.
And I love chocolate candy. Snickers is like my thing. I love that. This is taken. What's the review? Can you tell us?
So I'm not a sweets guy.
Okay.
Normally, you know, meat and potato more fella. Chocolates for the desserts. Usually my choice.
Yeah.
I don't usually like candy, but I will say these are good.
They're good.
Nerds are like super sour.
Yeah.
And I'm not, you know, this got that sweet. That's pretty good
Okay.
for like a.
Have you had them, Ronnie?
No.
Okay, you got to get in there later. I mean, I don't want to make you eat on your podcast, but like it's.
We make the rules here. Let's fucking
All right, we make the rules here. Get in there, dude.
You get in
I'm
here
telling
too.
you,
Get in here too. Let's all do it.
There's something about these things that just makes it the best candy.
Now, are you a sweets guy? Because I noticed
These are nice.
no, they're good.
Okay.
Am I a sweets guy?
Because I noticed in your bio you also have a Girl Scout cookie link.
My wife works for the Girl Scouts.
Oh, okay.
Really?
My wife works for the Girl Scouts, and there's this really wonderful troop. Let me finish this. You say something.
Thanks for coming to the Skillet Podcast. We have these little potheads over here. So over here, it's this is me, this is Ronnie, and this one over here is Tim. And the gifts aren't done yet here, buddy. So welcome.
What are you giving me gifts for? I should be giving you gifts.
We got you over here.
What is this?
This is your own Ryan Beck podhead, and you're actually the first one. We actually had a pod bod as well.
Look at my little guy.
So no one else has gotten a full body. We're experimenting. Tim's sister makes these incredible pod heads for all of our guests, and that's the Ryan Beck pod bod.
Look, it's got my hair. This is incredible. I love it.
And we did apparently those pants are removable. Apparently, Tim
Really?
just checked it out just to see how
That's
anatomically
great.
correct.
I love that because my pants are also removable. Okay, so back to the first podcast, or my wife working for the Girl Scouts.
Yeah.
Right. First of all, I'm getting distracted because this is too cute. This is your sister makes these. This is incredible.
Yeah, she has a check out her Etsy's, folks. It's linked in the bio, but she makes
Mrs.
a bunch
Jesse
of
Root.
makes a bunch of stuff and sells it, and she just does these for the pod. Yeah,
Look at that little guy. Get one of these things. What's her Etsy? Let's plug.
it's Mrs. Jesse Root on
Yeah.
Etsy, and it's linked in the bio.
Mrs. Jesse Root. Get your little guy. How about that? A little hot blurb for the gram. So my wife works for the Girl Scouts of Greater New York, and they have a troop there that's Troop 6000, and it is a troop where it's for all the girls in the 5 boroughs who are unhoused or living in the shelter system. There's a lot of migrant families and whatever else, but it's a great way for these girls to like be part of the community and learn all these kinds of things. But they sell cookies online. That's where the link in my bio is about, is because they sell cookies online because, you know, they're living in different places. So they, you can buy them directly online, and that's what the link there is. But it's a really great troop. There's going to be like a documentary about these girls, and it's a great thing for them to, just find people who have come from similar places and then figure out ways to become self-sustaining, like good people.
Incredible.
Girl Scouts is awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about the Boy Scouts other than all the bad news that comes out.
Sure.
And
yeah.
also people think that they're linked, and they're not. They're 2 different organizations, which is hot tip.
Hot tip. Wow, I learned something.
They're totally different, completely different entities.
I was a Boy Scout.
What's that?
I was a Boy Scout.
I was a Tiger Cub. And then I was going to go on to the Boy Scouts, but I missed the first camping trip, and then I got upset, and we just never went back. But I did go into a Domino's and learn how a teenager makes pizza as a kindergartner.
Oh, wow.
For like a badge or something, the pizza badge.
It was like a Boy. It was like a Tiger Cub. It was like it's the cutest one. You have an orange shirt with like a tiger print on it, and we went to the Domino's. I remember this, and we like watched. We were like, how is pizza made? And we watched a guy make a pizza.
Yeah.
And that was like our little field trip for the kindergarten Tiger Cub class.
That is kind of cool, man.
It was kind of cool. Like, I really kind of wish, like, in our adult lives, we could just walk into places and be like, how you doing that? Wouldn't that be great?
That would be great, yeah.
Tell me all about what's going on here.
Yeah, how do you make a vinyl or something, you know?
Yeah. I
don't
mean,
know
we
how
have
you
to
do
like just sit on our couch and watch, and it's like, can I just go into
Nerds Gummy Factory.
Oh,
I'm not sure I actually want to know what's in the Nerds Gummy. Like, why is it so
mystery will be
good?
solved. Yeah,
These
I don't
things
know.
are so good, dude. Did you like it, Ronnie? Did you like the Nerds Gummies?
Of course, I have had it before, and they're great. Yeah, they are very addicting. I remember I bought one of these before. I had them as a gift or something, and I would just take them, and I get these little sugar highs, and then I get the sugar dips. You know, so I get the sugar highs and the dips and the sugar. You know, so it would give me a little of that like little bump of energy, which I appreciated.
Thank you, Jesse.
Thank you, Jesse. Folks, thanks for tuning in. This is the Skullet Podcast. Remember to rate, review, and subscribe. Everybody that rates, reviews, and subscribes sends us a little picture, and we will send you a sticker for free, including a little message, personalized message. I will mail you a message with my own handwriting, and I'll send it to you. So give me your address.
I love that. I love that. I have this note on my website that says I'll also be your pen pal. And I was so sincere when I wrote that. And I really wanted to be like, I love writing letters. I think it's like a nice thing. Maybe I'm just like a little antiquated, but I think it's like a nice way to connect. Not one person has taken me up on it. In my entire comedy career, I've had this website for like 10 years.
Yeah.
And I have like people who send me nice notes. I don't know if I even have I have somewhat of a following, right? But it's not huge. Not one person has wanted me to be their pen pal.
Well, maybe this is the day. Maybe go ahead.
I was gonna say, are the instructions clear?
Yeah.
Hey, folks, go to his website and
Go to
write
his
this guy
website.
a letter.
I mean, I'm telling you.
This guy wants to be a man of letters. I had a dream.
I was like, when I wrote that down, I was like,
Yeah.
I'm going to have to get a P.O. box. Not one.
I always love those old, you get those books of like, oh, Hemingway used to write to F. Scott Fitzgerald all the time, and they would print out these things, and that time is gone. But our guest is Ryan Beck. Ryan Beck, his credits, I'm going to read your credits.
Oh, wow.
It's going to be slightly embarrassing, but I think this is also just, I want to give some people some context.
I think it's also going to be a pretty short list.
It's actually kind of long, man. Ryan Beck, he was on MTV's Girl Code. He appeared on The Daily Show with Jon Stewart, contributed to the Comedy Central roast of Bob Saget, Roseanne,
Yeah, I
James
wrote for
Franco. Every Damn Day on Comedy Central this week at the Comedy Cellar, and he has a special out.
Do you want to list any shows that haven't been canceled, or there aren't
listen,
any?
you know,
They're all gone.
I mean,
They're all gone.
These roasts, they happen, they gone. You know, it's not like this is a
I know.
series,
Yeah, that's
you know?
true. That's true.
And he has a great special out on 800 Pound Gorilla on YouTube called "You Can Do Anything." So this Ryan, I've known you for a decade
At least.
Yeah. Great comic out of New York. I think the first time I met you, actually.
Oh God. Was I nice?
Okay.
Ah!
Well, let's say this is what happened, and
No, I don't want to hear this.
listen, no, you weren't mean. Okay.
Oh no.
I violated you.
What?
Let me put it this way.
I don't think I remember this at all.
I don't think you remember this. We were at an open mic.
Okay.
I think is there one called 1 in 1?
Yeah.
And you'd performed and you had a sandwich or something, like you had a little like a plastic you purchased something and you seemed like you're really happy with it or something, right? And you're sitting and then you went to the bathroom or something, and I'm on stage and I'm floundering, you know, first few years of comedy, and I'm open mic for just comedians, and I'm like, what can I do that's wacky and insane? And I think I just opened up your food.
I don't remember this at all.
And when you came back, you sat down and then you just looked at it, and then you just kind of sunk in your chair as if I had fucked with your food. And I remember that was my first interaction with you. I had kind of like come into your space and I had opened up your box of food that you were so happy to get. And then you looked at it and then you were sad. And that is the first time I remember seeing you. And I don't think we spoke at all at that time.
Oh my God. That's so funny.
Just a to-go box full of nerd gummy clusters.
Just on a piece of bread. Bread with nerd gummy clusters inside.
So I think that was my first. I was just like, that was a good impression
Oh
that I
my
had.
God.
This guy fucks with your food.
So our friend Ari Finling,
Yes.
he has like a distinct memory of being me just like the first time meeting him, just being like total dick to him. And I'm
really?
like, I don't remember this either.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm glad I've chilled out and I've just not been I'm a very emotional person. I think everyone kind of can feel what I'm thinking at all times. And it's like, I don't know how to not have that on my face, right?
Sure.
And I think I've probably lost work because of this, with some of the credits that you've read. So, but it's like, I don't know, man. People always seem to know what I'm thinking. And I guess I just make faces and like react really big and whatever. So I'm sorry, Ronnie. It's fine. You can open my sandwich anytime, man.
Oh, no, man. I think it's just like, it's like New York is such a dirty place. You don't know what I think he thought I might even held it in my hand or something. And at that point, that would be like, if someone touched my food like that, I don't know that I would want to, and also what was I thinking?
At the time, I'm sure like I really needed that sandwich. Like there was we were pretty down on our luck starting out, being transplants to New York and doing open mics and First Street and whatever. Like, my goodness. Yeah, dude. It's, well, listen, I probably ate it anyway.
Yeah. I think you might have.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, you weren't as happy about it afterwards. No, it just sort of begrudgingly.
Just had to eat it.
Yeah.
Like, all right.
But,
I eat this tainted food.
Yeah. Yeah. That was my first memory of you. And then obviously like the open mics and, No Malice Palace. And
Those were fun.
Those were fun.
Those are really fun. Our friend Will Winter, he and I wrote what has ultimately become a short film. I'll send it to you, but we're going to put it out pretty soon.
Oh,
and
sick.
The goal is to use that in addition with like some pitch materials and whatever to get like the feature film version of that thing. So that's kind of like the thing with comedy and with trying to live a life in the arts and whatever, and all this stuff that you read off. It's like, you have to do everything yourself, which is why it's great that you guys have this great setup here.
Yeah.
And same with your sister's Etsy shop. It's like, no one's telling her to do that. You want to make stuff, you want to do stuff, you just have to do it. And so that's like, we're trying to make a movie.
Yeah.
And we're just like, okay, how do you do that? Well, make as much of it as we can afford and then go from there. So
that's been a thing I've been noticing just from watching your career from afar, but like you've really kind of you're like a director now, right? So, you're like...
In the sense that I directed a couple of things and that's the way it works,
Of course, but like where did this come from? Was it something you were always interested in?
Yeah, absolutely. I love movies, which maybe isn't apparent from the top of the podcast, but... I do. I love that stuff. And I really like people, which maybe isn't apparent from the other part of the podcast, but, I like, the problem of like, where do you put the camera that makes the story? And I love being able to communicate and tell stories and connect with people. And I think the thing that I really liked about directing was like admitting that I don't know everything. And so it's like, here's what I think I'd like to capture, and I drew it up, and this is what I want to happen. And then you get all these people who are like really great experts in their field, and you go, let's do this. This is what I want. And then you let them work, right? Like micromanaging is awful in any setting.
Sure.
And so when I was making my short film in my folks' house, like, which is the one I did the festival run with, it was super fun, but it was like, I told people what I wanted. I had storyboarded things. And then it was like, my job as the director was to keep everybody happy and on time and like, let them execute the vision that I put forward. But also it's like, I'm not going to be telling the cinematographer I don't know anything about cameras. And I think that might be like the best way. He's like, I don't need to worry about the camera. I need to keep everybody happy and on time. And I already told them what I want. So now I have to put your trust in other people. And it was like really a fun thing. And especially coming from stand-up background, because as stand-up performer, it's like, it's all you. I write it. I stand up there. I speak. I go home. With this, it's like, no, there's a whole group of people trying to make one singular vision. But that's the thing that really drew me to it and why I wanted to continue. And also, to be honest, is like, I started doing stand-up at like 17 or 18, just kind of like dabbling with it. And I was like, oh, because I'll do this and I'll get really famous. I'll get to make TV and movies.
Yeah.
No, just make TV and movies.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm a big proponent of just being self-sufficient as much as you can and just like working towards your thing, whatever it is. And because nobody allows us to do anything in this life. You just have to do it. And then you catch some breaks and make like great peers and then go for that. I'm sorry this got so sincere, but this is just my vibe, bro.
No, we love it, man. No, it's great. Please.
So I watched your short film.
Which
last
one?
Week,
The
Home in Johnson
yeah.
County.
Same here. Yeah.
And there's like a specific vibe, like a feel that you get from like the angles, the sound effects you choose. It's
yeah.
You know, it has that. I don't know the word to like.
My friend, maybe this is helpful. Not my friend, somebody else that I didn't know. Told me that it was aggressively Midwestern.
It captures that vibe. It makes you like there's like humor in it, but I don't want to say unsettling, but you can feel that he feels uncomfortable.
Yeah,
being in the house. It's like
that's why it's like so long. Everybody told me to make it. It's 14 minutes. Short films, they go, you need to be in like the 6 to 10 minute range. And I was like, no, but I don't want to do that. Because it's like when you're home with your parents, it feels like an eternity. Sure. And it's like, this is where this is the vibe, right? I'm sorry to cut you off, but I'm trying to speak to what you're saying.
No, that's exactly what I was trying to get at, but I was curious. So when you're directing something, you know, you want that. And then you pick the cinematographers, and how much direction is there given to like, or you just say, hey, I want this vibe and just completely let them run.
Well, I storyboarded everything. And then it was, so we had like where I wanted to put the camera. Most of that didn't change. I don't know if any of that changed. It was just kind of like, how can we make this work and figure that out and work with, I had my guy, Jeff Mundinger, is like an incredible director of photography. And it's like, he's just, we become really close friends, but I'd never worked with him or even knew him before. He was like a friend of a friend, hooked it up because I did it in Kansas City and I don't live in Kansas City. So I had to find the crew from afar. But I edited it too. So, you know, it was like a thing where it's like, we played with the pacing, but the general vibe of it was just like, okay, let's take our time with this because we're trying to sit in this uncomfortable thing. And then, with the editing's a big part of filmmaking, which is crazy because I think they took those guys off the Oscars broadcast, I think.
Oh, the editors? Wait, they cut them off?
Well, I don't remember seeing them in the last. I think they took some of the technical things off.
Yeah.
I think sound design, I think they took off TV, and it's like okay, what is a movie? It's like what you see and what you hear. It's like you just took half of it away. I know the actors are pretty people and stuff, but like, yeah, dude, it's wild. But yeah, editing is a huge deal because that's where you really get your pacing and stuff. And so that was like something where that helped me capture that, I think. But yeah, everybody was like, not everybody. There was a lot of people, and they're probably right to cut it down from 14 to 10. Maybe I would have gotten to a couple more festivals or whatever. But I'm like, as a first short film, I was like, I'm pretty proud of this, and it looks really cool. And it did capture like the Midwest is a weird place. And not a lot of films coming out of the Midwest about this, you know? It's like the movie Nebraska, I guess.
That was what I thought of, yeah.
Yeah. And it's like after that, it's like, I don't know, man. But there's just like a different kind of like where no one's really saying what's on their mind. And I was like, how do you capture that? And I had a lot of the jokes in there and a lot of the bits are from my act, which you might recognize from when you stole my sandwich.
But no new writing sense.
Some people get in that trap, dude. You got to keep writing. Oh my God. You see your friends that stop writing. It's like devastating.
I know.
It really, because I don't know. It just hurts me. I'm like, please continue, you know,
sure.
Stop doing this thing. You know, it works. Go and say something different. Go fail a little bit. Mm-hmm. That's all this is failing. Then you continue. I'm talking too much. Can we get back to the candy?
Well, I was thinking that, I mean, just David Lynch had there's this viral video of him just like, somebody be like, you gotta make him talk faster. He's like, why? Why does the scene need to be so fast?
Yeah.
He's just like, stop this, you know? And it's like, there's like something that we all think we're like, we have to appease these short attention spans, but a lot of the videos that do the best, even on like YouTube, are like long videos and stuff. So it's like, kind of shoves in the, you know, it goes right in the face of like what people expect of like, what do we need?
Yeah, all you hear is about how nobody has an attention span anymore. And then the most popular things on YouTube are like hour and a half, whatever, you know, they go longer. The people want longer now. Okay. And then they're going to say people want shorter. And it's like, okay, I'm just going to make what I want to make and we'll figure it out.
It's like fashion. It goes wide legged and then it goes to skinny jeans, you know, it's like our
And then Kendrick Lamar wears boot cut jeans and we're all back to 2004.
So you made this film about the Midwest. You're from the Midwest. So what was that like I don't know, like what, going from like the Midwest to New York, obviously that's a huge change. And like, do you think that what of the where you grew up do you still have, despite the fact that you've been in New York for a decade?
Think I have all of it. I feel really comfortable when I go back to Missouri. I love it there. My wife doesn't drive, and there's certainly a different pace to St. Louis and to Missouri, but so we can't live there. We have a home in New York, and I don't know, man. What is you're so informed by the places you grew up, even if you don't live there anymore, whether you want that to be true or not, I think. But yeah, man, I don't know. It's kind of a tough question to answer.
Well, as I was asking that, I had this other memory of you, actually.
Oh,
do you remember the
God, I hate this.
No Jokes Allowed, the show?
Did I sing a country song?
You did.
Yeah.
It was a completely acoustic.
Yeah, a cappella.
It was an acapella. Exactly, it was a cappella.
I was doing something weird.
And you did
Toby Keith.
And I remember just being, and you just did it. You just kind of, I don't know. I
remember I just went up and I just sang the shit out of this Toby Keith. What's the one where you put a boot in your ass? Put a boot in your ass. So I just like sang the whole thing, and this was a time where this was like more fun. And I don't
just comedy or just like or
it's just like song? A show where you just do like a weird thing, right? And so I just went and I sang this song that I happened to know by heart.
Yeah.
And I just like really emoted it.
Yeah.
For all these like most of these like hipster weirdos.
Yes.
And so it was like this like ironic kind of deal and whatever else. And I just really dug into the Americana singing this Toby Keith thing. And I remember that. Yeah. That was pretty fun.
I remember for
whatever reason, it kind of was funny.
Yeah.
But I also did like my best to put like I was going for it.
Yeah. Did you rehearse that? Was that like a thing you're like, I'm going to...
In my car when I was 17, I realized I happened to know this song completely.
Yeah.
And it's like it's just, I don't know, man. It's just pop country. Like, even if you're not a fan of pop country, and for the most part, I'm not, you just know the words. I don't know what it is. Like, we could probably, there's a game that I play when I'm driving with my wife in the car, whenever we're going on a road trip or whatever, where we'll put on a pop country station that we've never heard before. And I'm much better at it than her. I think this is what did I what from Missouri did I hold on to? Yeah. I have this talent where if you put on the pop country station, pop country, and you never hear the song before, by the end of the song, you know all the words. You just do. And you know what's coming up and you can sing along. And that, I think, is somewhat of the appeal of pop country, but also the thing that turns it off for a lot of people.
It's definitely very formulaic. It's like pretty quick to figure out. Same chords, same progressions, same time on most everything. But yeah.
Yeah. Even like the bridge and whatever else, like you just know what's coming. And I can get the lyrics by the end of the song. Absolutely. You can usually predict it too. There's not a lot of surprises in pop country. Not a lot.
Have you ever seen like when people rap battle and then someone's saying a line and everyone in the crowd knows where it's going, so they say it with the person?
Yeah.
That's just Ryan with country songs, like by himself, just like, here's the last line, and he just sings it with it.
Yep.
We'll put a boot in that song.
Yep, that's absolutely right. You just know. That's why I like older stuff, older music.
Yeah.
I was like always dumped on in college for not wanting to listen to like the latest this and that. And I was like, yeah, but I just like this better.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe an old man. I want to write letters and listen to freaking Gordon Lightfoot.
Gordon Lightfoot, wow.
Gordon Lightfoot's great. Gordon Lightfoot is the Toy Story 2.
Oh my God, my Lord. No, we're big petty heads over here.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wildflowers, best one.
Bro, you want to see my keychain?
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah, I don't have the keychain on me, but
That's
I
fine.
do have like a line from it.
You didn't podcast with your keychain in your pocket? Come on, Ronnie. We're trying to be professionals over here, man.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I guess I was just wondering. So you made the movie.
Yeah, bro.
Set in the Midwest. Is your family like that?
Yeah, to some degree.
Yeah.
To some degree. My family's slightly more warm than depicted in the movie.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I mean, it's based on like my dad's pretty stern guy, and but you know, and also my mom always wants to appease and make everybody happy, and I don't think those are necessarily bad qualities, but it is like things that make you nuts at times where you're just like, can we just please be human beings and just talk to me? Because I'm very sensitive. Everybody knows what I'm feeling, right? We covered this. So yeah, dude, it was like based in that, and then I wrote those jokes, and I think. I wish I weren't so sincere. I want to be like a fun guy that has like hot takes, but this is just this is who I am. This is who I am.
No, it's great, man. Yeah.
If you write a good joke, specifically like a joke, can be anything.
Yeah.
Right. It's not just one thing. It's like usually if it's like a funny idea, it can be a sketch or a line of dialogue in something or a stand-up bit. It's like, how do you explain this thing that's interesting or funny? And then you can put it in all these different kinds of ways. So I had this joke about like my dad never listened to the radio when he drives the car.
Of course.
And then that's a runner in the movie of the uncomfortable car rides and like the little funny things that you say in there in the car, and it's like I think it works, and it's like that was the thing where it's like other people are like you did this, it's too long. It's like, no, this is important to what I'm trying to communicate, and so you just got to stick to your guns. But yeah, the movie it was really very, very gratifying and rewarding to see people watch it in a movie theater. That was really cool.
That's sick, man.
And also it sounds like I'm just like trying to act like I'm hot shit or whatever. But the truth was there was every single screening that we did. It was like big laugh out loud in the movie theater. And that was really neat because I'm accustomed to making people laugh in person, but to like see it from a thing that I made several months ago with like a team of people and I edit this thing or whatever, and you show it to people and they're laughing out loud. Some of the screenings, they were laughing so hard that they missed the next beat.
Oh, it's sick,
and it was like, this is the coolest thing of all time. And it really makes you feel like, okay, I can do the things that I want to, even though I'm not from LA or New York or whatever, like coming from the system. Like my dad was in the military. My mom was in education. And it's like, yeah, we can still do this. It just takes longer.
Right.
But I don't have money. You got to have money. But movies are expensive, bro.
It is cool seeing like, you know, some of the jokes that you do have in clips and stuff being in the short film.
Yeah.
And it's they're both funny, but they are different, even though it's the same concept. So like how, I'm not going to give away any of the film, but it's like, you know, one of the big jokes in there is just, it's more uncomfortable funny in the film, but like on stage when you say it, it's like kind of,
it's ridiculous. My dad wanting to be buried in the backyard. Yeah, that's kind of the premise of the movie. Is like he wants to be buried in the backyard, and it's like, what are you talking about?
And you're like, my parents are a little, you know, less like that, but it's like they're pretty crazy in that movie. It's like portrayed as pretty crazy. Like I don't know if stern's the right word, but just to be like that, you know. So
yeah, and I don't know. That was a really fun experience. So now we're trying to make this feature and trying to make this other movie that I've got, and you just keep going, dude.
And how's Will doing? I mean, you guys are both dads now.
Yes, man. Fatherhood is awesome, and our friend Will Winner, who's my writing partner and just a tremendous guy. He's got 2 kids now, and he's like,
damn,
he's crushing it. He's like working out. He's gotten me working out. I got my Arnold Schwarzenegger Pump Club t-shirt right here.
Yeah.
But Will's getting jacked, and we're writing stuff and working on our film stuff, man. It's like he's the best. He is the salt of the earth.
He is salt of the earth. Always like lots of energy from Will. I always remember.
Yeah, he's a really positive and like he's just a great guy.
Yeah.
You know? It's a guy that stood up in my wedding, was like wearing a suit and talked me down from freaking out about this or that. And you know, and he's just a good dude. He's just a really good person. Yeah.
That's sick, man. Did you guys met in New York?
Yeah, we did. When I first met Will, I was at an open mic, and he had a sandwich. And I met Will. I saw him do this bit that he used to do, which I thought I still think to this day is like the most fun and interesting stand-up bit I think I've ever seen. It was this one about his like peaks and valleys in life.
I love
Do you
that
remember
one,
this joke? So
as a bald guy, I remember feeling very. Wait, no, is that the bald thing? That's not the bald thing.
No, this was the one about
he has a bald
you
joke.
have 2 ways to live your life. You have peaks, or you have like the mountain, right? And then you have peaks and valleys. And he was talking about how his traditional dad and stuff had like the very mountain life of like, I met a girl, we got married, we bought a house, we did this. And then it's like, oh, honey, do you like these drapes? And you go, oh no, my life's a sham. Like, you know, and he shows the mountain, and then he does peaks and valleys, which is just like I made $400, I lost $400. And he's like doing this whole thing. I'm kind of butchering the joke, but that's the premise of the joke.
Yeah.
And the way that he performed it, we're like 20 somethings, and he's in the back of this bar, and I was like, this guy's a genius.
Yeah.
And you know, he's proved me wrong, but no, he's really, really great. And I still today think that's like I was like, this is the best bit I've ever seen. And this guy just whipped it out, and I was like, I gotta be friends with this guy. And lo and behold, we've become best buds. So yeah, I love that man so much.
He's got a bald joke that as a fellow bald, you know, it's like the
high tea.
There's a certain, you know, when you hear a great bald joke, you're like, damn it, they got to it first, you know? So it's like his bald thing is something.
He goes, we're God's Marines. Be a man, grow up, lose your hair.
Yeah. We've been dying since the day we were born. That's the one. So,
super funny.
So yeah, you have another on the way, yeah?
Yeah, another kid. That's right.
Sick, man.
Yeah, that's right. Everything's fine.
Listen, as a guy who doesn't have a kid, or I don't know, like, what is is there a certain extra layer of stress of like of being a comedian and stuff, or is it like?
I mean, the whole thing is you want to provide emotionally and financially. That's it. Like, another good friend of ours, you know, Tito Garza.
He was former. He was here.
Great. So Tito has a really funny bit about how like being a good dad is like a new thing. Like being he's like, he has this thing is like in the 80s and 90s, like they didn't do that. And now we're like the first generation of like real fathers. Now that's like, you know, case to case, but it is like a thing where it's like, I'm home with the kids. I want to be what will be the kids, supportive and like all this kind of stuff. But I think like, especially with men, like you derive your value from like what you're bringing in. So as comedy, it's like, yeah, but how do I make money when I'm a comedian? I got to go travel around. So now I'm not doing the other part. So there is that push pull kind of thing where it's like, I got to make money. But I also need to be like around and supportive because that's the right thing to do. If it was the 1950s, I would just never see my kids and make money and be, oh, you turned out well. You know, here's the handshake that you get on your 18th birthday. That's not the life we live. I'm very close with my kid and and it's awesome. But man, it's tough. It's tough, but it's really fun. And then you just try not to freak out about what you don't have.
Sure.
So
you have something, Tim? Okay. Every time, so behind
you watch the fingers.
I see the finger. Every time I see the finger, he's like, I know like Tim has a thought. So like his finger moves.
He wants to unmute himself and be like, I got to jump in here. I know I'm not on camera, but I need to speak for the next few minutes.
Please talk, because I'm about to eat some of these.
Well, I had two thoughts, but like one kind of goes back to moving to New York, and then one goes with the kids. Do you ever think, because you live in New York, right?
That's right.
So like your kids, and you're like a comic and you come from the Midwest, it's like they're going to experience such a different life probably growing up than.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's a major thing that's going to be kind of weird is like, I grew up in Missouri and the suburbs of St. Louis. And it's like, okay, the existence that he's going to have in Manhattan is going to be totally different. Instead of a backyard, we got to go to a park, you know? But there's also a lot more stuff for him to do because there are the parks and the playgrounds, and we walk to things, and there's like lots of shops, and there's lots of museums, and there's lots of things built for. It's a really neat place to raise, especially small children. I think when they get a little bit older is when I'm really going to feel the freak out. But it's like you can get into a lot of trouble in the suburbs as well. So at least this way, it's like. Yeah, the thing with New York is just the same thing that any big city. It's like you don't know who the other people are. And I could take a jaded stance and probably should be somewhat guarded from like the people who have mental health problems or just like any kind of dangerous stuff. But you just got to like raise these little people with like good values and explain to them like, I trust you, but don't be an idiot, please.
Yeah.
Which is how I was raised. And I was still an idiot for some of the time. But I don't know, man. That's the part where you just kind of have to let go and like just hope that you did the right work. It's pretty scary. It's tough, dude. It's scary stuff, but you can't live their life for them. And then you could like, no, you got to do it this way. But then that's like not how people respond. So it's a balance of being like sensitive but also being trustworthy. My son was having like potty training problems. He's got it now. And the only way that it actually like came around was like, I had to like get off the gas pedal and be like, I trust you. You know, he knew intellectually what to do, but he was still having problems. And it's like, I need to chill. And so, somehow we started communicating through the Kermit the Frog puppet that we have. Yeah. And when I was embodying Kermit, I wasn't my intense, like, you got to solve this thing. I was Kermit, and Kermit acts different. Yeah. And so as soon as we talked through with Kermit, like, I swear to God, like the next day he was like, maybe it was 2 days later, 2 days of Kermit. Yeah. Talking about the potty and whatever. And he's like showing the puppet where to go. And he just started going in the bathroom to do it.
Dude, that's incredible, dude.
You just have to switch it up and communicate. And you got to be mindful of what you're putting out. It's the same way with live performance.
Yeah. Hats off to Jim Henson though, huh?
Greatest artist of all time.
Really? Go ahead.
I think so.
You say you don't have hot takes. This is a hot take.
I think it's not without merit to say that Jim Henson might be the greatest American artist.
Okay. What like,
he's created something that has informed generations of people and will continue to inform generations of people in a positive way. Yeah. While also being entertaining, and has captured something where it's like it's everything that people actually want for their kids and for themselves. Kindness and being playful and capturing like all the best parts of childhood. It's incredible, man, what he was able to do.
Yeah.
Beyond Sesame Street, just the Muppets are funny. Yeah. He kind of spearheaded this, like, the very first Muppets movie breaks the fourth wall and has all these really interesting, like at one point they're holding up the script to see what's to do next. It's like, these are so funny. These are such interesting and funny things. And in addition to like him creating the entire world, he's also like, there's great jokes.
Sure. Yeah.
Can I tell you this?
Please.
My wife used to work for Frank Oz's wife. Okay. Briefly. I have Frank Oz's mini fridge in my house. They were giving away their mini fridge. And so I have Miss Piggy's mini fridge in my house.
Oh, okay. For our guests at home, Frank Oz is an American.
Frank Oz voiced Yoda, and he voiced Miss Piggy, and he directed Muppets in Manhattan, I think.
Wait, and you have it in your fridge?
I have his mini fridge.
You have his mini fridge?
I have it in my house.
Frank Oz in his fridge?
I have Frank Oz in my fridge. I've never met Frank Oz, but when I'm going to be like, tastes great. I have your fridge, dude. Wow. Like if I ever meet him, I'm going to let him know I have his fridge. But we have a Miss Piggy magnet on the fridge.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, man. So, but I think Jim Henson, probably the greatest American artist.
All right, I don't know if
there's a lot of fantastic artists,
American artists, yeah.
But I just think like what Jim Henson was able to do is incredible.
He is truly American too. I mean, I'm trying to think.
And he also it's movies and TV, but it's also like just the general, what are the Muppets?
Right. Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah. Hot take. I mean, I don't know. I don't have anything.
I feel comfortable with this hot take. I feel comfortable with this.
I mean, it is revolutionary. Anybody that creates a whole world, whether like a whole universe of something, whether it be like Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Muppets, it's impressive because there's like lore and everything. So different and kind of like groundbreaking. So I never heard that take, but
I mean, Mark Twain.
Mark Twain.
He's a classic
pretty good.
American.
Yeah.
But the Muppets seemingly have more staying power.
Mark Twain couldn't teach your son to be potty trained, so
I love Mark Twain.
Mark Twain invented stand-up, allegedly.
Basically, yeah, live performance of saying funny things.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of American art is awesome.
Yeah.
There's lots of art all around the world that's awesome. My favorite director. We don't talk directors. You want to go back to the movies?
Well, we have the media minute in a second.
We have the what?
It's like we just always talk about what you've been reading or watching.
Oh, okay. Bong Joon-ho.
Oh, did you see the new one?
Not yet.
Okay.
I want to see the new one. Did you see it?
No.
So I really want to see that, but he's my favorite director right now. I think this guy's like on fire. Everything he touches is so cool and interesting.
Did you see?
He's the director that did Parasite, which was in fact a movie that should have existed. We're the Brutalist.
Yes, fair.
Parasite 1,000 times better than the Brutalist. I'm glad that they didn't crown the Brutalist
Best movie?
Did you not think that Parasite was better than the Brutalist?
He didn't see either.
Oh, well, get out of here.
Yeah.
Don't make a sound behind the camera.
He likes Planet of the Apes.
I'm a math guy. 1,000 times is a lot. That's all I'm saying.
Go see him.
He's a math guy.
And tell me that my math's bad.
I think I saw the first 15 minutes of Parasite.
The first 15 minutes? What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
What's wrong with
I'm more
you?
of a short form.
He doesn't like to read when he's watching his movies.
Oh, the subtitles?
Oh, that could have been. I don't.
Yikes.
He actually didn't even realize it. He's like, "What?
I was like, am I having a stroke?
I don't understand this movie at all."
I think this subtitles thing is like a little bit of like an antiquated complaint now because we all watch captions all day on our phone.
True.
So it's like, yeah, I feel like that's maybe why there's like an uptick in like foreign films that people are consuming because you just
That's a good take.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah,
this is my new take.
I like that.
It's my new take, everybody. I just want to say this is my new take.
It's been 2
Cut
seconds.
the reel
since the new
up.
take.
This is it. My new take. That's my new take. Captions are good. Foreign films. That's why we can watch them because of Instagram. Thank you, Zuck.
Yo, shout out Zuck. That is true because Ronnie made that up. That's not true that I don't like subtitles. I actually put subtitles even on English films now, and that's recent. I wonder if that's kind of why. I just got so used to intaking media and reading.
Dude, I'm watching captions because I'm not trying to wake up my son. I'm like, all right, I want to watch Rings of Power. Everybody's whispering, and then suddenly it's just the loudest show you've ever watched, and it's like, okay, just keep it low and let's just listen.
You watching the Amazon Prime?
Oh yeah,
Is it good?
it's great.
Yeah?
I'm a big Lord of the Rings guy.
Okay.
But I will say, I've been a big proponent of this for years because Game of Thrones was so confusing. I was like, everybody in the show needs to have like a hello, my name is name tag because I don't know who these people are.
Sure.
When you watch with captions, sometimes they'll be like the guy's name, : and you'll be like, yeah,
Wow.
that's who that is.
Yeah.
I remember now.
Yeah.
And it's so much better because I don't know who the hell the people are. You get, especially when it takes like 2 years off between TV seasons, you're like, I don't remember any of this, but I liked it. And I'm not going to rewatch 13 hours of television so I can, have any idea who this guy is.
Yeah. They should have like a pop-up stuff. This is who this person is or something, you know?
Yeah.
Like a
pop-up
pause,
video.
and then Kermit just comes in and like, explains to these characters.
Kermit would save us. Kermit would save us all.
So is that what you're watching? Is that the media?
I'm watching that. I just read a pretty good book from like 2023 that my wife recommended to me. You get a lot of book recs on the pod?
We would love book recs.
Okay, there's this book called Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin that I read, and it was fantastic.
What's it about?
It is about these two people who they're friends, and you follow their friendship, but they're video game designers. So
Cool.
if you like video games, there's lots of references to the video games, and they also talk about the games that they're creating, and then you kind of just follow their lives. And it's really great. It's really great. Really well written, really interesting. And it's another Nerds Gummy Clusters where you're like, why is this so good? I don't really understand.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Are you a Subway reader? What is your reading strategy?
I'm a big audiobook guy.
Oh, really?
Because
So
I'm driving and I'm in the subway and, I'm a very slow regular reader and I do like to consume books like that, but then I got to remember to have it. And it's usually like a thing where it's like, I don't know. It's a little more challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do like to read regular books, but it just doesn't happen as much as the audiobooks because it's so accessible.
Totally.
Yeah.
Last book that I read, I'm still, it was a book about France. I mistook, I got a trivia question wrong. I thought champagne was in Italy. Foolish. It's in France. So I read an entire book about champagne and I learned a lot. So I know a lot about champagne, both
What happened to the cover there?
I got angry and I got drunk.
On champagne?
No, it just fell off. But look, it was a great little book. And then today, what actually arrived today was
Jesus Christ.
Listen, I get champagne drunk whenever I just
drunk now.
am around it. But you
bought a map?
I bought a map of France. I was so enthralled. So
Map
there it
of
is.
France.
Map of France.
I love the design. That's what we need on Game of Thrones. Just very, right there. Map
of France. Ronnie's map of France.
Now, did you know that champagne is the crux of the book is that champagne is the most glamorous drink. It's a drink.
It's a region
for good times,
Yeah.
right? But did you know it was actually one of the most war torn little places in the world? But we all drink the blood of the innocent and the not so innocent. But anyway, I don't. Really
I didn't
care
know that
much
it
about
was a
France.
war-torn region, but it is. That's beauty and art, isn't it?
Exactly. That's exactly it, man.
And tragedy comes
So
champagne.
I was learning Duolingo to learn French and stuff, and now that the book's over, I don't really care as much.
Yeah.
But, I was really into
Duolingo,
it.
man, what a pain in the ass. That little owl's always bothering you.
Based in Pittsburgh.
Right.
Yeah.
Right down the street. They have
Yeah.
a great taco restaurant connected to it. That's like part of Duolingo's headquarters.
Really, I thought it was never open.
No, it is. I've been there. It's
Tim,
delicious.
you're really a cosmopolitan, man.
Thanks, man.
I watched the first 15 minutes of Parasite, and that language learning app, Good Tacos.
I mean, seriously, check it out.
Yeah, this is really good tacos at that education spot.
Listen, folks.
I don't know what they do inside, but what's inside the taco I really like. That's,
4K Miss Piggy.
I was trying to learn so I didn't have to read the closed caption of foreign films. That's why I like Duolingo so much. I hate reading the captions.
So what do you think of Pittsburgh? Your wife is
I
went
love
to school
Pittsburgh.
here, right? So
yeah, my wife went to Pitt, and I love Pittsburgh. I think it's beautiful. The only thing that's like really hard is like the roads go every direction, and there's many of them need some love.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I love this town.
Yeah.
I think it's great. It's beautiful. The winter's pretty tough, but when like the spring comes, it's like the best place you can live.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you got to get through those like 6 months of the year where it's like, geez, this is grueling.
we're hopefully coming out of it, but boy, oh boy, it's been pretty bleak. There's no sunshine. It's just gray, and everyone just.
You guys need to get some love to the Pirates. They need to like just be a winning team. They came so close for like a couple years in the McCutcheon MVP time.
Yeah, right.
But then they just didn't invest. They were like, we made some money, and then they stopped. I think you all need new owners or something. But I like the Pirates a lot, but I'm like, I want them to be better. And now they got like some great young pitching, and it's like, just try.
Yeah.
Sign people who hit the ball.
Yeah.
Come on. You have the pitching. They have like 3 really great pitchers under like 25. Then we're doing baseball, but it's just like, and they have a great closer. It's like, you guys are you have the pieces, the hardest pieces. Just get the guy that hits the ball.
Get someone to hit the ball. Yeah. Last night, speaking of Pittsburgh sports, so I did this show in like 30 minutes outside of Pittsburgh or whatever. And I did mention that I am from, Baltimore, and at the end, yeah. So I do any questions, and then they say, what's your football team? And I said, I'm a Ravens fan. And
course.
everyone turned on me, and I'm like, fuck you people. And it was actually a really fun.
Was that at the
moment.
end?
It was at the end.
Yeah,
It was
good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, of course. You got to love the Ravens. Where you're from, it's like, it's Ravenstown.
Exactly. You're St. Louis Cardinal?
Yeah, I'm a big St. Louis sports fan, big time. Football, I watch the Chiefs because it's like a generational talent of Patrick Mahomes. It's fun. I like that. It's from the state, and I have a lot of friends who like the Chiefs, and it's like, but football, once they rip the Rams away from St. Louis, it's like, I can't do this anymore. I watch casually.
Yeah.
So,
no,
big baseball fan.
Big baseball guy.
Mm-hmm.
Are you a Mets guy? Do you do the Mets games?
Well, now we live 20 minutes from Yankee Stadium, so the Mets was like really hard to get to now.
Yeah.
I got a couple of tickets for like Yankees games. So this is the nice thing. The Yankees have a lot of like decent promotions, and I typically hate promotions because I'm like, this is just like shitty plastic that everyone throws away.
Yeah.
I feel like this is stupid. This needs to be better. But on the last day of the year, they give you fan appreciation tickets. We got like 3 of them because there was 3 of us. There was like each little voucher, 2 tickets a piece.
Ooh.
3 different games we're going to go to for $0.00.
What the hell?
Pretty cool.
That's great.
Pretty cool. It's like selected games or whatever else, but it's like
amazing.
Some of the tickets are awesome. I'm going to be sitting in like the 100 section with my son, ready to catch a home run in right field which you know that the Yankees are going to hit home runs into the right field. That's what they do.
Sure.
So it's like, yeah, this will be a pretty cool experience, man.
I love that. I loved going to games when I was a kid.
$0 and 0 cents. Like,
Bro.
you can't beat that, man.
Also, Yankee Stadium is incredible.
Yeah, it's really fun.
You know, the other one's not so good.
But my guy, he's 3 years old, so it's like they have like a little like playground in there.
Yeah.
I think we'll probably be in there and not watching the game, which is like unfortunate, but it's he has a great time when we go.
Great vibes, man.
He likes to eat the chicken fingers and French fries and then run around in the playground and then like occasionally look at the baseball. But he likes baseball, right?
Yeah.
But it's of course it's easier to watch on the TV than it is live when they're like little and like, did you see that? No, wait for him to hit it. Yeah.
Sick, man. So we're going to be wrapping up here in a little bit. Please remember to rate, review, subscribe. We'll get stickers for you. Ryan, what do you got coming up? Anything coming up that folks can check out or see when you're on tour or anything?
I mean, you know, not so much because I'm going to take some time off to try to be a good dad.
Yeah.
With the new baby coming in May, but I'm going to be putting out this new short and trying to make this kind of thing happen. So it's basically like if people want to find me or anything that I'm up to, go to my website or my Instagram at I am Ryan Beck, and then you'll be able to keep the tabs. But like the plan this year, the plan is to try to sell these movies and get some funding for that, and then work hopefully on a new special in the fall. But man, oh man, Ronnie, my standards have gone up, and I want to be really good. I don't want to be good. I want to be really good. And so I was like, I thought I would do this last year. Well, I was like, no, it's not ready. So I'm hoping that in the fall, I feel like, yeah, these jokes are ready. But it's a trap when you want to. I think I have a perfectionism.
So we were talking about that, like just before the pod started. What do you mean by like, you know, you want to be good, but like, I mean, I know what you mean, but you want to talk about that a little bit more? Like,
well, I mean, yeah, basically it's just like not settling for like the easy lines.
Yeah.
Or the easy premise or whatever, and just trying to keep digging and finding what the interesting thing is. And then not only that, but saying it in the most interesting way.
Yeah.
I had a joke that would work pretty well, and it would kind of only work really well with people around our age, and then completely die with people who are in their 50s and up. And it's like, okay, but but if I rephrase it, then I'm getting everybody.
Yeah.
And that's what I want, is to get everybody. So yeah, that's like the kind of thing. It's like you gotta to especially with the kids now and whatever else. It's like I need to focus on like, especially with the kind of comedy that I do, which is it's clean, is to just stay there, make sure that everything I'm saying is clean, and then how can I get the most people to do that?
Yeah.
So. Yeah, is that what you wanted me to say?
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. Just we're gonna go like we have one final question,
Yeah.
but what you said kind of like piqued my interest before the show started. Just because like right now, what I've been doing anyway, is like, so I just did a show. My girlfriend was like, she's like, you know, you kind of said that a different way than before, and I'm like, yeah, like from in my mind, it was like Patrice O'Neal was like, I never say the same joke the same way twice or whatever, right? But what I've actually come to terms with is like I'm leaving a lot of like, you know, like laughs on the table sometimes by not doing it. It's not necessarily precise, but precisely. I don't have like the lines being like, this is where this goes. This is where this goes. I've always been like a non-lined notebook guy the last couple of years, but I got lines again, and I'm doing like, this goes here, and it's all just like, this is a really important part of the piece of the thing, and then kind of building it that way. But I don't know. It would just, what you had said earlier was just like kind of like was sort of like in my wheelhouse of like what I've been actually like thinking about lately.
Yeah, I mean, it's a puzzle. It's a puzzle of just how to say the best thing, say the thing that you want in the funniest way, in the most efficient manner.
Yeah.
And then cut out all the likes and ums and this and that's and like the gaps in between and what else. You know, you get all that crap out of there, and it's like, yeah, then you're cooking.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. But again, it's like the David Lynch thing. It's like, it's not about talking fast. It's about saying what is you intend.
Right. Well, you've been a great guest. We do appreciate you coming through. We always
Thanks, brother.
We always end the same exact way with, you know, this is the Skullet podcast, of course. So, I think the last time you saw me, I was in the process of growing the Skullet, right? Mm-hmm. So you're a movie guy. I watched this movie called Love Lies Bleeding. Okay. Ed Harris is in this movie, and I went to the movie theater that had like one of these, you know, you can drink in it, right?
Yeah.
And I was drinking, and Ed Harris had this incredible skullet, as you can see right here. And that's what inspired me to grow my hair this way. I was like, no.
Well, that's too much, man. You don't want to go that far.
Well, we'll see. Okay.
That's Skeletor vibes.
Nobody.
That's Skeletor vibes. You don't want that.
I mean, we'll see.
No.
We'll see. Dude.
I'm telling you that you don't want that.
Listen,
you want this is the wheelhouse.
This is the wheelhouse, but look, man.
Look where you are.
I'm here.
It's right here at the base of your t-shirt.
Yeah.
It's got some curl.
I mean, look.
Let's call it, Ronnie.
Look.
You just told me earlier that
Yes.
you've had which is crazy that you know how many weeks you've been growing your hair, but you told me we're at 38 weeks, and I was like, oh, it's almost full term. A pregnancy is full term at 40.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
you can be born at 38. Some of us probably were, right? So, my guy, this is about full term. This is that one's been in there too long. Okay,
that guy has a story to tell, though, right? I mean, what happened?
nobody wants to hear that story. That story is going to end in tragedy. That's intense,
Well,
man.
spoiler if you ever saw this movie.
That's scary.
So
That's not a guy that you ask for directions. I would ask you for directions.
yeah.
There's
for
a
sure.
joy to your current skullet. This is one that makes people think that something bad has happened to you.
But just imagine that guy on stage. Like, who is this guy? You know?
Yeah.
Look at him. Look at him.
He's holding a gun in that picture. I don't think this is the vibe that you want to make people laugh.
So anyway, I grew the skullet, and in the beginning, it was just like,
Can we see the whole deal?
Let's see it right now.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
is charm.
This is charm. This is strange. Got a little gel. I've been slicking it back too.
Yeah, and it's got some curl.
Yeah.
Ronnie, this is the realm, man. You don't want it to be another foot long like this psycho. Also, that's not his hair. That's a makeup artist that did that to make him look deranged.
Yeah, of course. But this was the vision, Ryan. You know, this is how it all started.
You want to look deranged?
I don't necessarily want to
You
look
want to look
deranged.
like a professional made you look crazy?
I just want
Someone
to
was
see.
paid to make him look crazy.
I want to see what happens. You know, I want to see. I want to.
You will lose your friends and family. That's what will happen.
No, my God, my thoughts are saying. You're saying the things I thought out loud.
This is the route. This is it. You've done it.
Listen, look, I don't know how much my girlfriend has paid you to say this, okay? But she's like, the skullet is fine exactly where it is. But however,
It's really nice where it is. This is document 38 weeks and be like, when they go to trim it.
well, we do need to. We're planning on trimming it soon. That's like a goal. We're going to the barbershop, and it's going to happen. We're trimming it. We're going to get lined up. It's going to be beautiful. However, when I first started growing the hair, you know,
Lined up. Ronnie, what are you talking about?
I don't know. Tim's
Lined up.
Folks, tune in to see what we mean by lined up. We got some stuff.
How do you
cooking.
line this up?
Tune in.
Tim has a vision, okay?
Lined up.
Tim has a vision. I don't know. I don't even know these barber terms. I haven't been to a barber
I don't
in
even
over
think
15
you need to trim
years.
it yet. This is nice. It's got a curl at the bottom.
It does have a
You don't want to
curl,
lose much of it.
but maybe like something on the side. I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand.
All right.
hair.
We'll trust Tim.
So
Tim watched the first 7 minutes of a video about cutting hair. He's like, I know what to do.
So I started growing it, right? And I don't know.
We're going to go to the barbershop. Which one? The one with the good empanadas. That's the one we're going to go to.
So I speaking of I got a little pushback growing the hair out.
Okay.
Obviously, you know, it's like, Ronnie, what are you doing, right?
It's a big deal to start from nothing and go to something.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But now people see it.
But now people see it, and it's almost like a thing. You do a thing long enough, and it becomes like normal and possibly celebrated, or at least accepted, and now
Yeah.
it's like a thing, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm curious if there's anything in your life, like maybe other than comedy.
Yeah, my entire existence has been this way, where people go, "What are you doing?" Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But this is very natural looking. This is like how I imagine it's always been, even though I know that not to be true.
Yeah.
You know, this fits.
Yeah.
Don't mess it up, Tim.
Don't fuck with me, dude.
Don't steer them wrong.
So yeah, but that
What in my life have I
maybe your friend, maybe like your friends, family, loved ones are like, hey Ryan, maybe don't do that thing, but deep down you're like, I gotta do it. So Ryan, like, what is your skullet?
Oh man, what is my skullet? Jeez Louise, dude. Okay, so this I actually did abandon it a little bit, and maybe I should have picked it up. But there was this series of on Instagram that I made briefly, where it took me a lot of time, where I made made paper dolls of myself and my wife and my friend Julianne.
Okay.
And I made a paper house, and I made like everything. It was like my cardboard life, and I made an entire sitcom out of cardboard, and it was all like stop motiony. And I did this, and it took me a very long time, and everybody thought I was going through something, and I very well may have been, but. Ultimately, it was like pretty funny and whatever else, but it just never like really took off in the way. And I think I should probably pick it back up, but it takes a lot of physical space to make that. And there are a few clips on my Instagram, like deep in there. I made a cardboard sitcom, and yeah, man, it's that was one where it's like people thought I was going through something, but eventually they saw that it was like a little art project. But it was like everything was, I did paper of like every emotion, and then I voiceover, wrote the episodes and recorded them with my wife, and then I like made the little sitcom in the little paper house that I constructed. So that was my skullet, where everyone thought I was like, oh, okay. And eventually they got it.
Yeah.
But I got to bring it back. I got to remake a house.
How long did it take?
A long time.
And I'm imagining when you're doing this, you're kind of like in a manic, like I have a thing, and this is like, I
thought it would be really like a thing that would really pop off.
Sure, yeah.
And I was super proud of it. And then it didn't exactly like give me what I needed immediately. And so then I did like 20 of them or whatever. There you go.
This is great, dude.
Here, there's Mr. Scissors. He's the neighbor, which is like, you got a beef with Mr. Scissors because we're all made of paper. Well, he's on paper, and he's Scissors, and he was like, you got paper all over my mouth, and he's like, you caught me.
Dude, this looks great. Yeah,
so that's the idea was like I made this little paper world. Now the sets have been we moved, so the sets had to go away, but there you are, bro. I made that. That's my skullet.
I love that.
Is that going to be a part of the video pod?
Yeah. Now I edit the podcast now, so I will actually have to put that up, and it's going to be a huge nightmare for me.
Sorry, Daddy.
But I love that, man. It looks great.
Yeah, that's my skullet.
That's sick.
That was my little art project that made people think that I'm unwell.
That is wonderful. I don't think you're unwell, man. I think you're very well, and I appreciate you doing this, man.
I'm glad that you're growing it out.
Thank you, man.
And even if it hits Ed Harris levels, I'll support you, Ronnie.
Listen, just
you have my heart, brother.
Once you're
Tim, there's some work to be done, but
I want full skullet, long hair in that when you bring it back as like a weird turn of a tone change, and be like, hey, you're going down the weird alley and stuff, and here's this guy showing up. It's like, I need to go back home to my Scissors neighborhood, What's that, Tim?
You had scissors cutting the skull. I had something brewing.
Oh my God! Yeah, there you go. Well, that's that episode 100 when we actually cut the hair. We'll bring the scissor guy.
It'll be stop motion.
Yeah,
a little collab.
Yeah.
Well, amazing, dude. I appreciate you coming through, dude. Always a pleasure, dude. And please follow Ryan at I am Ryan Beck.
That's right.
And thanks for tuning in, folks. Remember, not all growth is good, but just keep it in the back of your head.
I love it. That's so fun.